Hey, what's up, guys? Calling out about their video, and today I want to talk about the Broncos stadium there. And this has been a really topic there I was kind of interested in. But we all know the Broncos got another location there for the thing. It kind of looks like the Broncos are just shopping right now, and I think we're technically shopping right now. The owners are shopping, the Warner Penn are shopping where the location is actually going to be at for the Broncos there. And this is the one I think people might actually gonna like there because the location of the stadium there is right in the city limits there. It's right in the city limits there. It's by Colfax there. Right out of the metro of Denver there. If you go by Colfax there, you got the Rocky Stadium, you got the Rocky Stadium, and you got the Abs and Nuggets Stadium there. You got Coors Field, and you got Ball Arena there, where the mostly Coors Field where the Rockies play. That's mostly out in Colfax. Same with possibly also same with the Nuggets Stadium also, but mostly I think the Rocky Stadium is more closer to Colfax, and the Nuggets Stadium is. But there. Mostly, this is actually a really big thing there for having the Broncos actually on that type of thing there. There's some railroads there they actually have over there. And I think they've been out of service for like maybe a couple years there. They've been out of service for like the last couple years there. So the Broncos totally bought some land on that property there. A stadium could be built there. It could be there. A stadium could be built by the by that Colfax area there. It could be built right there, where the railroad tracks are going to be possibly going to be on. Possibly it could, also there's also a chance it will not be there. That it won't not be there, and it's just land where the Bolins actually just have there and just have that land resources there, because right now the Broncos are just shopping for it, but they're actually looking in the city limits of Denver there to build the new stadium there. They also saying about this there. There's still Lone Tree there. Kind of makes sense there because it's right by the facility there. Maybe mostly they might want to move the Broncos to Lone Tree there, but a lot of fans will not be liking that there because a lot of fans will be technically really disappointed there. Minus the people honestly live in Lone Tree there. Though honestly, the people honestly live in Lone Tree there might actually appreciate the Broncos going over, appreciate the Broncos actually helping their town there and stuff. But a lot of people honestly who watch the games in Denver will be pretty upset with that because they have to be traveling down to Rocky Four, down to they mostly have to travel down to Castle Rock. They have to travel down to Castle Rock to go see a game there, and that's mostly a long ways from Denver there. Castle Rock to Denver, yeah, it's a fucking long ways to go. Even if the facility is there, even if the facility is officially there or the new facility is technically officially at Lone Tree, I don't know how they're gonna put a stadium right there with the thing. It's mostly a lot of fans will not be happy. Also, the other one is mostly Aurora. I don't really see people actually going to Aurora. That's a little bit way out there by DIA. And I think this is a pretty bad. I think them building by the airport be pretty bad. Also, them building in Lone Tree there will be pretty bad because people have to travel, and people don't really want to travel far out. But in this like third location there, the fourth location or the third location there is actually in the city limits, and I think people might appreciate it. People might appreciate it there. There's a lot of Denver fans might actually like it in that direction there, or like the stadium where it was at there at that train track station there, where it's at. pretty interesting why the heck they were trying to build it in that certain area, but whatever there. It's right by the Rocky Stadium, so technically you got the Broncos Stadium there, new stadium is going to be built, and then you got the Rocky Stadium behind it. So that's going to be pretty interesting there. I think they should build that stadium right there. I think a lot of Denver fans will be really, really happy there. And I think a lot of people in Denver will be really, really happy to actually have an icon there. Because the stadiums there are an icon of Denver. Mostly you have the three stadiums there are a big icon of Denver there. You got Coors Field. You got the major big teams there. The major big teams there is a big, big thing there for it. But yeah, I think the location's good. I think the location's good and stuff like that for it. For the tax there, I wonder how the city people are possibly gonna pay for the tax there. I think it might get paid off. Honestly, I think the way the Waltons are super fucking rich things there. I think they won't mostly not put too much tax on on the team there. They're not going to put too much tax on it because they're not going to mostly going to raise the tax on the city there. Mostly the city prices will not be fully taxed there for the team there, and I think that's going to be a huge win there. I think they're not really going to raise up the taxes there when they actually try to build the stadium there, because the city of Denver there, the people of the city of Denver want this stadium to be built. They want this stadium to be built there. Mostly there's an in after buts there what type of like stadium type of design they should go with. Mostly I think we don't really need a roof. I do not think we don't need a roof, and mostly in my opinion, there, I think we should have the stadium open. That's my opinion. I think we should have it outside there. But knowing the Broncos there and knowing the Bolins there, they might want They might want a fucking roof there or a dome there because that's what the team really wants. But for my opinion, there, I think we should have it outside. I think football should be playing outside there and have it mostly facing the elements and stuff like that because the Broncos there are not going to be affected there because by the weather there. Other teams there and other states there like California teams and stuff like that, they mostly might be affected by the weather hugely there because they have an upper advantage there because if there is a warmer climate there, even if there's a warmer climate there, and say if one of the teams actually has a dome there, it gives the enemy, it gives the team there who honestly in the warmer climate a more advantage there when the temperatures are super cold outside. So I think we need to play in elements there. I think we need to play in elements if they do decide to build this stadium there or have a option there to actually have a roof there, but knowing the Bolins there or knowing the Waltons there, I think they're gonna go the opposite way and try to build a dome there because why in the heck they're trying to build a new stadium there if we can't rough it out in the elements there? Why in the heck they're gonna build a new stadium there if we can't rough it out in the elements there? It's obvious they want a roof, they want a dome there, and something I honestly do not gonna feel really that great with is a dome or a roof there because a dome there it might feel like a fucking spaceship. Honestly, it might feel like a spaceship, and when you go into the stadium there, it might be feeling like a fucking spaceship when you go in there, and it'd be fucking boring as fuck. A roof there. It might help us there, but it might cancel some of the weather out. It's actually good if there's like a thunderstorm there and games don't get delayed because of that. But I think football should be playing in the elements. Honestly, I think football should be playing in the elements there. So I think a dome and a roof is out of the question. I think we do not need a dome or a roof on the new stadium there. I think we do not need a dome or a roof there because technically, the Broncos are in a cold environment team, so they play good in the cold. We play good in the cold there. In the heat, we can't play good at all. We don't play good in the heat at all. So technically, actually having no roof there and no dome, I'm okay with that there in my opinion. But I don't know if the Waltons are going to go for that. I don't know if the Waltons are going to go for that. I think the Waltons are going to possibly going to go for a dome or a roof there, mostly for the stadium, but mostly because right now the Broncos are just shopping right now, and we don't know where they're actually gonna fully gonna go with this stadium there, parking and stuff like that, hotels. I think the Broncos could be building some around parking and hotels and all that stuff there. I think that's gonna be built. I think the city will build that no matter what. Apartments. I think people might fucking mostly. I think people of the city of Denver there will build it in a heartbeat because the Broncos there is one of the icons of Denver. You can't lose the icon there at all. So, like fucking Lone Tree there, that's been one of the rumors for a while, but because it's close by the other facility there, possibly if they were gonna try to build in Lone Tree. Possibly they're gonna if they're gonna try to build it in Lone Tree there, it'll be possibly 20 maybe if they're gonna try to build it in Lone Tree there, it's gonna be possibly right by the facility. That's why I think the new stadium is gonna be at. It's gonna be right by the facility there. But if there's in other locations there, possibly the railroad or Aurora, that's where they're mostly exploring with the team there. But there's more locations that are going to be up there in grabs. But we'll actually have to see what actually happens with the Broncos there. The Walton Pen are still searching for a new stadium spot there. I wish they can just build it right there where the current one was at. I think that's a much better place for it. But what do you guys think about this? Comment, rate, more responses to the bros. We like love bros. Please subscribe, hit the button, catch on the circle, join live streams. Comment, responses to the bros. Okay, out. Peace.